So we've created all the draws that we want for the tournament, and now before we can publish it, we need to set the tournament's pricing and review the sign up page. So we're going to move over to the left, the admin panel here. We're going to find sign up configuration, and we'll start with set up tournament pricing. Okay, we'll begin by creating payment category. So if you have masters, juniors, want to charge people different prices for the event, you can. You'll have to go through and add multiple categories, but for the purpose of today, we'll just create a generic one for everyone, which should be called adult. Do we want early bird rates? So we'll say yes, and we're going to give a slight discount. So the early bird rate might be, let's call it $25, and then we're going to set the date for that on the next stage. And regular rates, let's say is 40, give them a nice discount. Okay, restrictions. Again, if we were looking to charge juniors or masters a different amount, you would use these options. But for us, anybody can select this pricing category and submit. Okay, so we got our one event and we got our prices for it. So if we go back to our checklist, we've done that one. Now we just got to check the sign up page configuration. So back to sign up configuration on the admin panel here, and then sign up page configuration. Okay, so do we want to notify admins when somebody signs up to the tournament? Yes or no? That's by email. Introductory text, so on the very first step of the sign up process, you can welcome them, thanks for their interest, whatever you like. Obviously the currency you're going to charge, we'll leave ours as Canadian dollars. How many events can a person enter? Completely up to you, just leave it as one. Early bird special, so we enabled ours and we set the price at $25 to give them a bit of a discount, a bit of an impetus to enter your tournament earlier rather than later. So we'll set the deadline. The tournament's end of June, so we'll set the deadline for a little bit earlier in June, let's say the 23rd. And I don't want to give too many of these away, so I'm only going to let 10 people get the early bird. Try and create a bit of a buzz around that. Restrict total entries. So if you're limited by courts, perhaps you've got an idea from years before how many participants you can handle in the tournament, then you might want to set a max, otherwise just leave that at 0. If you want to charge entrance tax, you can, whatever rates you need to. Do you want to ask for availability? A lot of organizers turn this off because they want people to actually play or be available for all days of the event. Not too much to ask when you enter a tournament, but if you'd like to give the option, perhaps you're struggling with numbers and you're okay with giving players some flexibility, you can leave it on, and it will add a step to the sign up page as they move through the steps where they can select days that they're not available. Terms and conditions, so this will be the very final step before they hit submit and enter the tournament. So if you have a standard TOC, or maybe you want to give details about your refund options, then you can here. So we're all done on the sign up page configuration. If we're happy, let's hit save. Okay, and we're done. So that's all the basics you need. Creating the tournament, the draws, and now tournament's pricing and sign up before people can enter. So now we can publish. If we're charging for a tournament, which we are going to have to do one more step. So we're going to go back over to the admin panel under sign up configuration once again, and we're going to go to payout settings. That's where you can add your bank account, where all the funds will be deposited to after your tournament's run. But if you're not charging, from this point you can just click publish tournament, and it's now live and people can enter.